Upon completing this quest, you will be able to undertake Crystalline deliveries for the Facet of Nourishing. You must be a Culinarian Alchemist of level 70 or above to proceed. Level 70, Friends of a Feather. Bethric has caught the scent of something fragrant coming from your general direction. Sniff, sniff. What a pleasant aroma. Hey, pray forgive me. I couldn't help but notice the fragrance of herbs and spices about you. Are you by chance a Culinarian? So you're the guest I've heard so much about. I had no idea you were an artisan. No doubt of the highest order to keep company with the Crystal Exarch. This is such an honor. Goodness me, where are my manners? My name is Bethric, resident veterinarian and overseer of the Facet of Nourishing. Oh, I know what you're thinking. There's no way this grisly monster of a man is fit to handle animals, but you'd be wrong. In fact, my scars only came about from handling the Amaro. Don't let their docile appearance fool you. They can be quite feisty. Speaking of which, I have a patient due for an examination. You care to join me? I won't twist your arm on the matter, but if you mind to humor me, you can find me over at the Amaro launch. Get there from here? Yeah, I think I'll just go up, right? I'll finally get used to this city once we start Endwalker and I don't have to come back here for anything. Aha, so curiosity got the better of you, eh? Poor girl was hurt transporting cargo and her sadly misguided owner let her wounds get infected. I insisted she stay here until she's made a full recovery. Now then, let's have a look at you. The swelling's down and so is the inflammation. A few more days and you should be fit to fly again. She's by far the sweetest animal I've had the pleasure of caring for, and she loves to be pet. Why don't you come closer and see for yourself? Oh, come now. How can you say no to those starry eyes and that come hither and pet me snout? Go on, she won't bite. Her. Injured Amaro looks at you longingly. Perhaps petting her as Bethric suggests will soothe her. Oh, do I have to emote? My word, I've never seen her take to a stranger so quickly. Why, it's as if you've touched her very soul. You've a knack for caretaking. Calls to mind a gift the Amaro were said to possess long ago. As you've no doubt noticed, the Amaro serve as steeds for transport and the delivery of goods, much like chocobos. A key difference between them, however, is the Amaro were born of magic. A variety of lizards enchanted by mages in the days of the Ronkan Empire refined further into what we know as the Amaros through selective breeding. These arcane magics allowed them to sense the souls of their masters and even speak. Alas, when the Empire fell, the techniques used in raising the Amaro were lost. They no longer possess their preternatural abilities of old. They've retained the ability to fly. Oh, what I wouldn't give to chase the wind and touch the sky. To be an Amaro. Oh, he's one of those. There's no finer animal in all of creation. To be reborn as a majestic Amaro would be a blessing. Of course, I can understand if you do not share in my enthusiasm. There you are. I've been looking all over for you. Lasana, what a pleasant surprise. Finally come for that lecture on Amaro taxonomy? I've no time for your babble of animal facts. You're needed at the stable, and Amaro has been brought in from the fields and it seems to be ill. We fear it may be poisoned. Poison? I'll be there at once. The situation is as dire as it seems and may have need of your assistance. Please say you'll come with me. You have to like the rookery. I just jump down. Ugh. don't think I can jump down from here. Hey, look at me. We're in a hurry. Sure. You're here. Good. I've just finished a cursory examination. Outwardly, he shows no signs of severe injury, but he has indeed been poisoned. Judging by his breathing, it's already caused inflammation of his windpipe. We must hurry and identify the toxin. Who would do such a thing? Poachers. They've been hunting Amaro, cutting out their tongues and leaving them to die on the doorstep for some time now. We've increased our patrols of the perimeter, but they've proven more resourceful than we thought. At least this time we succeeded in denying them their prize. For that we are grateful, but we must act quickly. Bethric, I leave him in your capable hands. Bethric, is everything all right? Oh, yes, of course. Only the poachers used poison-laced feed bearing a striking resemblance to our stores. This Amaro likely believed they were from the Crystalarium. He trusted them. They took advantage of his innocence. Would that I could make them see the error of their ways, but I fear such wicked hearts are beyond reason. I can but try to undo the damage they've caused. To do that, I would ask your assistance. Come, there is no time to waste. To the mean. Thank you for coming. I've identified the poacher's poison. However, producing an antidote will prove to be a much more delicate process than I was expecting. See, this Amaro is of a different breed than those I'm accustomed to caring for. All those you've seen here in the Crystarium are greytails. Our patient, however, is a Berube skipper from a region long since lost to the flood. Under normal circumstances, I would be beside myself with excitement. He may very well be the last of his kind. Meaning there can be no room for error in the preparation of an antidote. This task calls for an artisan of surpassing skill, one who understands the heart of these blessed creatures. I believe this is why fate guided your steps to me. I beg of you, help me save this Amaro. I knew I could count on you. Based on his blood work and my knowledge of the greytail physiology, I've put together a list of ingredients that should produce a rather potent antidote. The rest falls to you. Level 70, Friends of a Feather, complete. Facet of Nourishing Crystarium deliveries unlocked. Crystarium delivery commenced. Facet of Nourishing deliveries are now available. Delivering the requested items to Bethric and raising yourself in his esteem. You can advance the story of his quest to save the Amaro. Let's do that then. Edible antidote. Thankfully, the injuries he sustained were minor. The poison, however, is another matter entirely. It has to be flushed out of his system, and soon. Okay, no more White Crafter script. There you are. Not a moment too soon. After I've tested its efficacy, I'll begin administering the antidote right away. Each delivery you make, Bethric will come to hold you in higher esteem. Deliver the items Bethric needs and deliver them often and learn more about him and the Amaro. Looks like Skip is going to pull through, and it's all thanks to you. Yay! You weren't here for that, were you? He may reside here at the Crystarium for some time, and we thought it best to give him a name. Being a skipper from the Berube region, we thought Skip to be a suitable moniker. We're not quite out of the woods yet, but if we continue treatments, the poison should be gone from his system soon enough. Though I must say I did not expect you to be such an accomplished apothecary. Indeed, the antidote's effectiveness has exceeded all my expectations. In my experience, such exemplary work only comes from one deeply concerned for the well-being of their patients, and it certainly shows here. Truly, you are an inspiration. Would that I had met you in my youth. Perhaps then I could have, or perhaps not. Pay no mind to my ramblings of the past. We can but focus on the present, that being the recovery of our dear Skip. Facet of nourishing Bethric, accept. Crystalline delivery complete. You have delivered the requested items. Yay. Esteem level increased. Bethric now considers you a Morrow enthusiast. Bethric is pleased with your efforts. You can do it. His recovery is proceeding apace, but there's still the matter of... What a pleasant surprise. I was just about to go and check on Skip, as well as administer another dose of your medicine. Care to join me? Worst is past, but he still has trouble eating on his own. Until he shows further improvement, I've decided to keep him on a mostly liquid diet. Needless to say, we've kept him well hydrated, and our flavorful fare, such that it is, has somehow managed to keep up his appetite. Your wounds are healing quite nicely, Skip. Still, he needs lots of rest. I'd feel better once he's regained strength to walk. Though it still beggars belief that he's even here, an honest-to-God's bereaved skipper. Even assuming some few escaped the flood all those years ago, their domestication should have left them ill-suited to survive in the wild. Obviously, Skip has proved to the contrary, but it begs the question, if they found sanctuary here in Norvrant, why would he leave? Was it a curiosity of people that led you to Lakeland? I can only imagine your horror when you realize the poacher's intentions. But enough fretting. Skip is safe now, and there's still much to be done to ensure his swift recovery. Come on, Skip. Let's thank you again for that antidote. It's proven surprisingly effective. Despite how little we know of his breed, there have been no side effects from its usage. However, because Skip has needed so much rest, it would be that much harder for him to regain his physical strength. Do you think it possible you could prepare dietary supplements for him? Something easy on the stomach, but high in nutrition to help restore his stamina. Truly, you are a saint. I'll leave you to your work then. Leave it to me. Serum deliveries list for Beric has been updated. All right. The sooner we can get Skip up and about, the better. We're counting on you for that supplement. Wonderfully done, Zilly. Why, I'm tempted to sample this myself. In fact, I think I will. Smooth texture, rich flavor, no doubt full of bursting with nutrients. Yes, this will do nicely. This is more than enough to see Skip back on his feet. Thank you. He will be pleasantly surprised, I'm sure. More so if you should have time to pay him a visit. Oh, Skip. Whenever I look at him, I'm reminded of my youth. By my appearance now, I was rather foolhardy in my day. What a time that was, diving headlong into the thick of battle, axe in hand, astride my faithful Amaro. Every job was carried out to the letter, by any means necessary. There was nothing I wouldn't do for a bit of coin. The headsman, they used to call me. That's all in the past. I'm a veterinarian, motivated not by coin, but my love of Amaro. As a fellow enthusiast, I hope I can turn to you again in the future should I have need of assistance. Facet of Nourishing, Bethric. Accept. Delivered requested items. Team level increase. Bethric now considers you an Amaro lover. Bethric is delighted with your efforts. He's on his feet. You can do it. Ah, you really shouldn't sneak up on me like that. I wouldn't do to leave the Crystariums Amaro without their veterinarian. Since you're here, would you care to join me on a trip to the Rookery? I think you'll be happy to see how Skip's condition has improved. He's not yet able to fly, but it's quite a relief to see him walking again. We'll need to keep a close eye on him and adjust his diet as his condition improves. Speaking of which, Skip, it's time to eat. Still wary, I see. Refuses to eat anything unless I or one of the stable hands taste it first. If he was poisoned, it's understandable. All right, Skip, Zilly prepared this especially for you. That's a good boy. That's the way. Keep eating like that and you'll build back your strength in no time at all. Would that his heart could be so easily mended. In light of his ordeal, I can understand his apprehension at the approach of our stable hands, but even the presence of other Amaro leave him in a panic. It'd be foolish to return him to the wild in his present state, but to continue caring for him here would prove no less difficult for him. Every day I feed him, I tend to his wounds, yet he refuses to do so much as glance in my direction. Well, what's this? He would allow you to gaze into those limpid pools of raven black. Could it be he's finally ready to open his heart to us? To me? Come, Skip, let's show Zilly the true strength of our friendship. Denied. Well, it seems at least he's regained the spring in his step. Perhaps we should return to the mean. There's still more work to be done. Sure. I suspect you hear this quite often, but I cannot thank you enough for all your help. Were it in my power, I would hire you as my personal apothecary. I could finally rest easy knowing the Amaro had quality fare. That's not to say we fail to take good care of them, mind you, but there's no denying the fruits of your work. Matter of fact, your supplements have already done wonders for Skip's stomach. His appetite is returning and his bowel function is markedly improved. That's nice. Which is why I believe it is time we move to the next stage in his treatment. Having rested for so long, I suspect Skip's muscles suffer from some degree of atrophy, which is why I need you to create a new supplement to help strengthen his muscles. Are you up to the challenge? Serum delivery commenced. This has been updated. Purifying soup. Shouldn't be long before Skip is fit to fly again, and your supplements will help him recover that much faster. How is it you make something so simple seem such a delicacy? I believe this warrants another sampling. Quite palatable, no doubt full of the nutrition Skip needs. Well done. It should be more than enough to see Skip to a full recovery. He's grown quite fond of mealtime, you know, though I think that's mostly to do with your handiwork. You should see the way he perks up at the mere mention of your name. I worry what will happen when you're gone and another sickly Amaro is brought to the stables. And it falls to me to prepare the medicine needed for their convalescence. Don't you usually prepare their medicine? Not fond of cooking, I take it? Part of me hoped you would never think to ask me that. I suppose there's no harm in telling you. As I mentioned once before, I once enjoyed the companionship of an Amaro. Back when I still worked as a mercenary, we were inseparable. Till one fateful day when he was gravely wounded trying to protect me from sin eaters, I brought him back here to the Crystalarian with all haste, but resources were scarce and a caretaker for Amaro was unheard of, let alone a proper veterinarian. So I took matters into my own hands, using my personal store of medical supplies. It wasn't until he began convulsing that I realized the dosage was too strong. I could only watch in horror as he thrashed about in pain, screaming, pleading for help. Then suddenly he grew still. Oh, sad. I swore then that no man or beast would die by my hands ever again. The next day I traded in my axe for books to learn all there is to know of Amaro and their care. That said, I've always been of the belief that any medicine to be administered should be prepared by one adept in the arts. Just seeing all you've done to help Skip, I'm beginning to think I have more studying to do. Speaking of Skip, there's something I wish to discuss with you, but I fear I've taken up enough of your time as it is. Why don't you come back later after you've had a bit of rest? Facet of nourishing Bethric, accept. Crystarium delivery complete. Team level increased. Bethric now considers you an Amaro aficionado. Bethric is overjoyed with your efforts. New quest continuing storyline. Okay. Level 75, where we belong. Bethric has news to share with you. No doubt you're eager to learn how Skip is doing. Well, I'm happy to report that, thanks to your efforts and the care of our stable hands at Teminus Rookery, he's made a near full recovery. Physically, at least, the wounds of his heart yet remain. He sits about the stables brooding, avoiding contact with me, Nern, and even the other Amaro. Before there can be any deliberation on whether he remain here or be released back to the wild, I must ensure he is sound in both body and mind. For that I must once again ask for your help. I'm loath to admit it, but you are the only one to whom Skip has shown any manner of affection. Not that I'm jealous, mind you, merely an observation. Poor boy barely even eats, though I do recall he was quite willing to partake in the medicine you provided, and the way you gazed into each other's eyes as if he... My point is, I believe he would be willing to emerge from his seclusion for you. Would you try talking to him, see if he responds? Sure. Come and Skip. Her. My goodness, to simply look at you seems to set his heart aflutter. Now that you have his attention, could you assure him that everything will be fine? Oh, I have to say something. I gotta change my party chat. I'm in party chat right now. Everything will be fine. Everything. Yep. Will be fine. Oh, my keys stick. It's as if he's become a different creature altogether. He looks so happy, so carefree. Perhaps now I too can get through to him. Skip! Just not interested, man. Still, he regards me with that icy gaze. After all we have done to nurse him back to health, why is it only you to whom he shows affection? There's no denying that it was you who prepared the medicine that treated his poison, and I have no doubt Skip is aware of that fact, but surely there is more to his fondness for you than that. Perhaps it has to do with the Amaro's innate predisposition to magic. It is what allows them to sense the ether of sorts, though nowhere near as strongly as their ancestors. Indeed, so in tune were the Amaro of Eld with their riders, they were often said to be of one mind. I can but wonder how such a pairing from an early age would influence cognitive development, or if their breeder might. Now there I go getting carried away again. What was I saying? Right. Skip's predisposition to magic. Perhaps he can sense your ether more strongly than ours, thereby giving him a greater understanding of your concern for his well-being. Despite the lengths we have gone to heal his body, without you, I dare say we would have never been able to heal his heart. Yet there still remains the matter of whether we keep Skip here at the Crystalarium or return him to the wilds. I only want what's best for him, but I fear my decision will not be in line with what he desires. Oh, Skip, if only you could speak to us. Well, if it's a talking Amaro you need, I know of an Amaro that could interpret for him. You're acquainted with a talking Amaro, truly? Oh, be still my beating heart. There is a name for such beasts in the Ronkan language. Tupac Amaro, the paragons of their kind. I'd never dared to dream meeting one would be possible. What a time to be alive. Please, Zilly, I beg you, take me now. Take me to the Wallachdorf, to Amaro Paradise. It might be a bit much. That is to say, we must take Skip, yes, that we might discern what it is that he wishes to do. Of course, this means we must traverse through Ilmeg, home of the Pixies. Do you suppose they would grant us passage? Somehow it doesn't surprise me that you've befriended them. Still, I think it would be best to err on the side of caution. You must prepare a tribute for me and Skip. Please, Zilly, we are strangers to the Pixies. It is the surest way for me and Skip to appease them. Thank you so much. I promise I'll make this up to you one day. If there's anything you need, speak with Nim and she will take care of the rest. Offering of sweets. Skip and I are counting on you, Zilly. Goodness gracious, I've never seen such brilliant craftsmanship. I may be tempted to partake before we reach our destination. I jest. Now, before we reach our final destination, we're to make a stop in Lita Laron, right? Yes. Fear not, Zilly. Skip is in fine health, and I have no doubt he would travel near anywhere with you at his side. Let's be off then, to Ilmeg. Grr. There you are. The Pixies were quite pleased with our tribute. They've even promised we won't have to take part in any of their games. Pixies honor, they said. Not that I don't trust them, but I'd rather not stay around overlong in case they should change their minds. Where do you go? Is he in Wallachdorf now? Wallachdorf, it's so much more beautiful than I could have ever imagined. Lug, why have you returned so soon? Lug, ah, that must be Skip's true name. But wait, that would mean he was raised here, wouldn't it? Why do you not answer? Are you hurt? Forgive me for interrupting, but Skip has been in my care for some time now, and I can assure you he cannot speak. It would appear a terrible trauma has caused him to withdraw into silence. If you know aught of what happened to him, I would hear it. I see. We thought perhaps you might offer insight into what it is he wishes to do. I sense great turmoil within his heart. Has he ever loved the children of man? But he has ever loved the children of man, but now that love gives way to fear. He had a companion once, long ago. Together they left their home behind and traveled the world, and it was that shared love of adventure that led them here to Norvrant, sparing them from the flood. Light robbed Lug of his home, and the passage of time his companion. He wandered the land alone until eventually he happened upon Wallachdorf. We took him in and raised him as kin and offered him guidance when he came of age. He has lived with us for over a century, yet seldom does he speak his mind to me or the others. His reclusive nature has proven troublesome at times, but I know he means well. All these years, and he still mourns the loss of his companion, of the lives they touched on their adventures. So why he might have left, I can but assume he sensed someone or something familiar to him, reminiscent of his past life. I think it may have been you that drew him away from Wallachdorf. Oh, Lug, you sought man's companionship, but instead found his cruelty. Thank you both for keeping him safe, but I must ask that you leave him here. We will take good care of him, I promise you. Parting is such sweet sorrow, but there will come a day when we meet again. Skip, be well, my friend. Let's hurry back to the Crystarium. If we stay any longer, I fear I may never want to leave. Are you certain, Lug? You have been through a terrible ordeal, this is true, but there is still good in this world. I would hazard you understand this better than most. This is not a decision to be made lightly. I mean, still have like 2 more steps, don't we? Tilly, the most amazing thing has happened. It's Skip, or I mean Lug. He's returned to the rookery. Or was I dreaming? You don't suppose this could be some cruel trick of the pixies, do you? Level 75, where we belong, complete. Pray, give me a moment for my heart to return to my chest. I was on my way back here when I happened to peek down at the stables and I saw him. I saw Skip. Quickly, we must go and see him. Skip, by the gods, it's really you. Why would he return? You don't suppose the Amara of Wallachdorf mistreated him, do you? No, they were quite nice. But I want to live here with you, Bethric and Zilly. I don't live here. He speaks. Tupac Amaro and Wallachdorf spoke true. You do have the gift. I'm sorry for not speaking sooner. It was not my intention to deceive you. You have nothing to apologize for. Were I in your position, I likely would have done the same. Still can't believe you're here. What exactly happened after we left you at Wallachdorf? I spoke with the other Amaro of the poachers and their poison, of your kindness and how you nursed me back to health. Sensing the conflict in my heart, they bade me think long and hard on what it was I truly desired. For nigh on a century, I've longed for the companionship I once shared with a man. Yet it was not until I encountered the poachers that I became truly aware of his capacity for cruelty. I began to think perhaps all men secretly harbored such wickedness within them. Then I thought of Zilly and the food she so lovingly made for me. It reminded me of my youth and the partner with whom I once explored the world. It reminded me that I must endeavor to seek the good in men's hearts. And I can think of no better place to do that than here at the Crystalarium, if you will have me. I can see no reason why not. What say you, Nim? I would welcome Skip without question, but it is not a decision for me to make alone. I must discuss this with the other stable hands. Thank you, thank you. Think nothing of it. A thought occurs to me. If you were to stay here at the stables, would you be able to tell us what the other Amaro are thinking? Indeed, I could. I recall them being rather jealous of the food I ate when last I was here, though they understood it was part of my treatment. Truly, have they said anything about me? Why would they have anything to say of you? Poor Bethric. Speaking of food, Zilly, is there any chance you could prepare any of the foods from my homeland? I'm sure they would love it. What a splendid idea. Nothing brings together people, or I suppose in this case, Amaro, like a delicious meal. How about it, Zilly? Think you can prepare Amaro fare in the Baru fashion? Put together a list of necessary ingredients. As this was a rather special request, you can be sure your efforts will be handsomely rewarded. Serum delivery commenced. Now we just cooking. So it just came out high quality. I don't think I can mix and match them though. That might be a problem. I don't know. I think that's what it said on the wiki. Okay, I can. You just don't get like extra stuff, which we weren't going to get anyways. Oh, Laura skipped over the text. Something about outdone ourselves. Oh well. Expertly done. I had better hurry this over to the stables before I'm tempted to sample more. You'll still go and visit Skip from time to time, won't you? I'm sure it would mean the world to him. It does my heart good to see the Amaro so happy and healthy. I would do anything to keep them safe. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried about another poacher attack. There won't always be a craftsman on hand to mix the medicines I require. Certain you'll find a way. I never took you for a quitter. Ever the optimist, I see. Well, I said I would do anything to keep them safe, and I meant it. I think it's high time I began studying medicine in earnest for Skip and the others. Speaking of whom, Nim said she wished to speak with me about Skip staying at the Crystarium. If you mind to hear what she has to say, would you care to join me? Facet of nourishing Bethric. Accept. You have delivered the requested items. Team level increased. Bethric now considers you an Amaro confidant. Bethric is deeply moved by your efforts. New quest continuing a storyline. Level 80, healing old wounds. Bethrick was hoping you might stop by. Here you are. As I told you before, Nem wishes to speak with me about Skip staying here at the Crystalarium. You would also hear what she has to say. Meet us over at the Rookery. You've come. Good. Before we begin, I would thank you again for the Barub feed you prepared for the Amaro. It was most excellent, and the other Amaro enjoyed it as well. But I digress. Now, as you may or may not be aware, Nem is the stable master here at the Rookery. It warms my heart to see you well again, Skip. I've given the matter of your staying much thought, and there is no denying the value of your presence here at the Crystarium. Can I have your leave to stay? In a word, yes. However, everyone here must do their part. To be certain that you too are able to contribute, I would have you undertake a test. Test? Yes, two in fact. First, I would have you partake of the food we provide to the other Amaro here at the stable. Being of different breed, we must be certain our feed is suitable for your constitution. That seems reasonable enough. Do not wish to alarm you, but the staple fare of our Amaro is the same that used by the poachers who poisoned you. Must we really subject him to this now? It's not his constitution that concerns me, but the trauma of his experience. There's only so much we can do to accommodate a single Amaro of many. It would be impractical to maintain a separate stock of food for him alone. If he proves comfortable eating it, we can discuss the next test. If there's no other way, then I must try. Believe in you, Skip. You can do it. Dilly, would you be willing to prepare the feed? Perhaps it will assuage his fears if he senses it was made by your hand. That kind of defeat the point of the test. Thank you. If you have need of supplies, you need only ask. When you have finished, bring the feed to Bethrick. We're counting on you for that feed. Another culinary masterpiece. This looks fantastic. You're quite skilled to master our recipes so quickly. Such quality would normally require years of training. Are you certain there is no other way? Already I can feel my stomach turning in protest. You can do it, Skip. Remember, Zilly prepared this especially for you. This is good. More than good. This is delicious. I regret not partaking sooner. Thank you, Zilly. That's the spirit, and imagine how much more enjoyable your meals will be in the company of other Amaro. Well done. We may move on to the next test then. Yes, of course. What would you have me do? You must fly from the belt to the Amaro launch carrying a passenger. Ah, of course, to prepare him for the work of other Amaro carry out, yes? Precisely. All who live here at the Crystarium must do their part to support our community. For you, that part will be the transport of goods and people. I've not had a rider since the flood. Still, I am an Amaro. Such a task should prove a simple one. Come, Zilly, let's be off. No, you must take Bethrick. Me? It is clear you have formed a strong connection with Zilly, Skip, but you are not like to share any such bond with riders in your day-to-day work. But it's been too long since I've ridden. What's more, Skip has but recently recovered from his illness. Perhaps one of your stable hands, one proficient in... Such a skill is not easily forgotten. You will ride him, Bethrick. My decision is final. You may stay to observe if you like. Perhaps your presence will settle their nerves. If you will be watching, then I cannot fail. Provided I don't make a mess of things, of course, I'll try not to let Skip down. Landing at the Amaro launch is more difficult than one might think, but I'll guide him as best I can. We'll be waiting for you at the belt. The hell is the belt? Lakeland? No, it's like right here. This is probably the quickest way. Isolation. You can do it, Skip. This is it, Skip. How are you feeling? Equal parts terrified and excited. It was here that I was assailed by the poachers, but as we take to the sky and fly back to the Crystalarian, I intend to leave those painful memories behind. Hold on a minute, isn't that... Well, I'll be. It's that talking tomorrow what got away from us the other day. No, it can't be. Don't you two move, you hear? We don't want any trouble, just your feathered friend there. They say the tongue from an Amaro like that can cure any illness. Should fetch a nice price from those overfed prigs in Yulemore. Tupac Amaro tongues have never been proven to possess such curative properties. Well, it don't matter what we think. If they're willing to pay Gil hand over fist for a sliver of that there tongue, who are we to argue? We need to alert the guards somehow. If they can be apprehended and questioned, perhaps we can locate their hideout and put an end to their entire operation. Somewhat of a gamble, but I have an idea. I have a frying pan. Skip, do you think you can lift me up into the air? No, not again. I can't. What's that? Best speak up now while you still can. You have to trust us. Chin up, Skip. We'll get through this. You're right. I cannot squander all you and the others have done for me. Bethrick, quickly. Wait here, Zilly. I'm the Culinarian of Light. Don't worry about me. What are you lot up to now? Out of the way, maggot. We're having that tongue. You piddling streak of piss. You gormless pile of moored shite. Don't you dare lay a hand on my Skip. What in the hells? He doesn't actually have an axe. Let's go. Right. Ah, my legs. I can't feel my legs. Out of the way, Zilly. Damn it all, you'll pay for this. You better run. Unless they're gone, are you all right? Plan was a success, and it's all thanks to you, Skip. You were so brave up there. You should be thanking Zilly, not me. She helped me find the strength to cast away my fears. And now I'm ready to complete Nim's trial. To the Crystarium. Skip took to the sky as if it belonged to him, and Nim bore witness to it all, from takeoff to landing. I had my doubts at first, but he has grown so much in such a short time. Sure, soon I will call the Crystarium home. After I inform the guard of our recent encounter with the poachers, I should hope that will be the last we hear of them. Let us return to the rookery. These... I know, we're like way far up. There you are. I insisted we wait for your arrival before Nim announced her decision. To bearing witness to Skip's flight from the belt and his outstanding bravery in the face of danger, I hereby declare him fit to join the Amaro here at Timinus Rookery. Thank you all so much. Promise to do all I can that my gift might bring man and Amaro closer together as they once were in the days of Ronka. From what you told me earlier, you were no slouch either, Bethrick. Yes, well, I'm merely grateful I had the opportunity to overcome my apprehension of riding Amaro. How fortuitous that you chose me rather than one of your stable hands. I'm not sure I understand what it is you're implying. More importantly, this whole ordeal has taught me that it requires more than knowledge to be skilled in medicine. If I'm ever to be truly great veterinarian, I have to let go of the past and my fears of failure. It has kept me from fully committing to the care of Amaro despite my love for them, and I suspect they could sense my trepidation. Lesson I think we all would do well to learn. Thank you again for all your help. You as well, Bethrick. If your intention is to be more committed to the care of the Amaro, I hope that means we can count on you to prepare our food in the future. For you, Skip, anything. Aw. Please say we return to the means. Illy, the Amaro's medicines want for mixing, and they won't do it themselves. Future looks bright, old friend. Oh, Zilla, you've done so much for me and the Amaro. I'm at a loss as how to repay your kindness. Skip wouldn't be alive if not for you, and like as not, I would have placed the blame on anyone but myself. That all ends now. I will do whatever it takes to ensure the Amaro never will again want for succor. I have my work cut out for me, but don't be a stranger, alright? Perhaps I can even help you with something for a change. Level 80, healing old wounds, complete. Esteemed contributor, Facet of Nourishing, you have completed all of Bethric's tasks and now considers you savior of the Amaro. Bethric is humbled by your effort. There may be others in the Crystalline mean who could use the assistance of a talented artist, and ask around and see who is in need of your skills. Amaro Whisperer. I think that's enough for today.